Hello, it's Kendra, and it's time for another Book Basket Saturday, number 3. Today is February 20th, 2016. You will probably have noticed, or maybe you didn't, that there was no Book Basket Saturday last week. That was because week before last, because I cover the books after we've done them for a week, not before. Anyways, I was under the weather. I had a bladder infection and fever, and it was not good. But anyways, I'm feeling better now. And we basically just did the same book basket from book basket number 2 for 2 weeks. And we rode Caps for Sale for an extra week, which was perfectly fine because I love that book. So, I'm going to tell you about what we worked on last week. As far as history, most of our history came out of Story of the World, as well as some read-alouds in U.S. history out of the curriculum. And then we did some Aesop's Fables out of this version, which is selected and adapted by Louis Untermeyer. And they're really short versions of the Aesop's Fables. Oh, that's the table of contents. That's not very useful. Here we go. So, it's a short version, and then it has a picture that accompanies. So they're pretty quick to get through, and the verbiage in that particular edition is fairly understandable without necessarily completely watering down Aesop's Fables like some versions do, but it's not as long-winded as some Aesop's Fables that we have used previously. And we have been continuing to read. I am eventually going to hold this book up properly. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm by Kate Wiggins Davis, I think. If I can find the title page. Oh my goodness. Really? It's not on here. Anyways, that is the book that we are reading. It's been good. We're learning more and more about Rebecca. I don't know how I never read that book when I was little. It seems like one of those books that would fall into especially the prescribed reading list for young girls. With your Anne of Green Gables and your Little Women and that whole handful of books. But it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe that was just in my world. Maybe it is in yours. At library group this week, for the younger boys, they covered balloons. And apparently my middle son kept going, read the one with Huckle. And they didn't read this one. But it's called Balloons and Other Fun Things from the Busy World of Richard Scarry. So we've been reading that. We've gotten this book before. But they really like that one. And we read Dr. Seuss' 10 Apples Up on Top. That has been a fun book, and the kids keep counting apples, whether I'm counting them or not. We also read Toodle, which is important to know that you should stay on the rails no matter what. And we read this book called Stick and Stone by Beth Ferry and Tom Lichtenheld. It's a book about Stick and Stone, and they become friends because one of them is being bullied, and then they learn that they don't need to be bullied anymore, and that they make a good team. So, it's a cute book. The illustrations are really adorable in that one. We got that as a Christmas present this year from somebody. And we also read The Big Wide-Mouthed Frog by Anna Martine Larrañaga. And this book is pretty funny. It's about a frog who is very kind of arrogant and talks to all these animals. And it's like, I'm a frog. What do you eat? And then eventually it meets an animal who, what do you know? Their diet is frogs. So it's pretty funny. It makes the kids laugh. Makes me laugh. So that's good. And then as far as which book that we are rowing for Before 5 in a Row, this week's book is one of my absolute favorites. Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCluskey. And we really like it because it is all about picking your own food to preserve for the winter and how a human family does that as well as how a bear family does that and the hijinks that ensue on the mountain. So, we like this book. The illustrations are really pretty, and even though they're all single color, it's just blue ink. Blueberries, blue ink. So, there's been lots of kaplunking around our house. Most of it coming from me. we'll continue to row this one for at least this week. We might do blueberries for sale for 2 weeks because I like it so well. We'll see. That is all that we really covered this week. We did read a decent amount of Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and hopefully we'll read some more of that this week, and some more of lots of other things. But we'll see. It is getting to be very nice weather, so, you know, the pull of outside is probably going to start happening sooner rather than later. Hope you all had a great week. If you have any comments or suggestions or what have you, you can leave them below in the comment section, where you will also find all of my contact info. See you next week. Bye.